Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds world famous series,
Budget Bombs! This time, board wipes.
I'm your host, Joe Cherry Bomb Cherries.
I'm your host, Budget Z, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds, bringing you daily content. If you like that, subscribe to the channel. If you like us, subscribe to the Patreon. And if you like buying magic cards, you can go to the TCG player link in the description, navigate to where you want, buy the cards you want, and then when you buy cards, we get a free kickback. You didn't spend any extra money.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, isn't that amazing? But we don't want to waste too much of your time, so let's get into this video. Budget Bombs, Budget Bombs!
Budget Bombs!
World famous Nitpicking Nerd series. We're going to tell you about board wipes today, and we're going to talk about board wipes that are under $1 because that's what a budget bomb is to us.
Yeah, you're on a budget. Whatever you're doing, what brought you to this video, you're probably on a budget or you're trying to build a deck on some sort of budget, which means you're restricted on price. So we're not gonna impact that almost at all. All these cards are less than $1. And I will say something you can do when you're on a not super tight budget, where let's say you're not making a $25 deck or you're not making a $50 deck, but if you're making like $75 to $100 deck, you can skimp on the board wipes, play some of these, and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and some of these are really good, like our very first one, Tragic Arrogance. I don't read this card because it is really dumbly worded, but it's on screen. Basically, you just make everyone keep their bad stuff and you keep your good stuff.
You keep your best permanent of each type. They keep their worst permanent of each type. And this card's 85 cents. It's one of the best board wipes in the format.
It's one of our favorite for sure. I mean, I think that this is so slept on. I always think, maybe they've been, I'm always like, have they been reprinting this like a ton and I just missed it because is that why it says, no, it was in Magic Origins.
And they just reprinted it in Commander 2021.
For the first time.
It's in one of the decks. So that's what brought it under $1. It was like $1.03. I remember we were trying to do this and we couldn't. It is now under $1, so go pick it up.
Yes. So Budget Bomb. We love this card and honestly cannot say enough about it. Honest, one of our like cream of the crop board wipes.
Best board wipe on this list. If you take one thing away from this whole video, it's that Tragic Arrogance is insanely good.
Yes. Up next, we got Slash the Ranks. 5 mana, destroy all planeswalkers and creatures except for commanders.
This card's only 58 cents. You just have to make sure that you really want to keep your commander out. That's kind of most decks. I think the only downside is you can't destroy their stuff. But if you're like one of those decks that has your commander and not much else, this card's great. If
your commander is vital to your game plan, this is going to work out perfect for you. Just remember, it's the same thing for everyone else. So if their commanders are really important, you might be like, oh no, this does nothing.
I'm going to take you a step further and just say every commander is vital to their game plan. Except, I mean, like, unless you're playing CDH, we're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, that's true. So that's where the weakness of Slash Ranks is, but this was just in Commander Legends. You might just be able to find one laying in your Commander Legends bulk.
Yeah, and we don't really advocate most of these outside of budget. Tragic Arrogance was one of the exceptions. Some of these are good, but most of them fall into traps when you have no budget, and when you have budget, these are the ones we recommend.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, we'll just tell you if we would play it outside of a budget. Tragic Arrogance, outside of a budget. Slash Ranks, just a budget card.
Yeah. Next is Hour of Revelation, definitely an out-of-budget card as well. It's only 89 cents. It's 3 white, white, white. Destroy all non-land permanents, but if there's 10 of those things, it only costs white, white, white. 3 mana, planar cleansing. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, that's it.
You got me.
Yeah, I'm in with you. This is so easy. The fact is, this is almost always going to cost triple white. As long the one caveat, not even just budget. So even if you're on a non-budget, if you can easily have triple white reliably in your games, throw it in your deck.
Yeah, this could go on a 1, 2, 3 color deck without too many problems, as long as your mana base is good.
Exactly. Yeah, your mana base has to be good. There's certain decks, like I could say like an Esper deck that's like blue-black splashing for white. Like, yeah, avoid it there because your off color is white. But other than that, yeah, I'm perfectly fine throwing this in up to 3 colors.
Yeah, it's just never going to be bad. Planar cleansing in a tight pinch when there's really something you need to kill, but not many other things, it's still fine.
Yeah, it's a modal spell. It's modal. There's going to come in situations where you have to spend that 6 mana to answer 3 or 4 big threats. Okay, we'll take that as our fail case.
And it lets you double spell or triple spell because it's only 3 mana.
Yeah, exactly. You go 3 mana, board's gone. Now I will build first because I have more than 3 mana. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Next.
If you don't have more than 3 mana, you're probably in a lot of trouble.
I guess you really needed to cast this.
All right. Up next, we have Winds of Wrath. It's 74 cents. Destroys all non-enchanted creatures. You probably only want this if you're playing an Enchantress deck.
If you have any auras, you're like an aura and equipment deck or an Enchantress deck or some kind of thing where you're going to make this non-symmetrical, this card's amazing. Otherwise, just forget about it because 5 mana destroy all creatures, we can do better. We've just shown you a couple that are already better than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can exactly. You can do better, but if you're in that Voltron deck where your guy's gonna be suited up, okay, kill everything but my giant monster, then one-shot somebody. Okay, I'll take that in my board wipe.
Yeah, you could definitely do that, or just I have 3 creatures. They're all kind of utility, and they're gonna sit around and not die to this board wipe, unlike everything else, because things are usually not enchanted.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how like if you're not playing enchanters and you're not playing Voltron, how many enchantments do you really play? Next to none, especially auras.
Another thing that's cool about this card is if you have Kendra's Transformation or Song of the Dryads enchanting one of their creatures, obviously not Song because it makes it a forest, but like if you enchant it with Kendra's Transformation, it just stays out. Like it doesn't even give them the out of recasting their commander.
That is
it just
pretty
stays
cool.
as a stupid 3/3.
Yeah, what an annoying little wombo combo that is.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's next?
Next is Dusk to Dawn. Dusk is 2 white, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Dawn is 3 white, return all creatures with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand, and it's only 69 cents. A very nice price, I would say.
Yes, very nice price. I want this in my Weenies decks where almost all my creatures don't meet that power. They're all little tiny dorks. And then I'm just doing Plague Wind. I'm destroying all your stuff. You keep your dork, but get rid of your big stompy creature, your flyer, and whatever else you might have laying around.
I guess as a bonus, I'll let it sit in my graveyard, and then later it'll draw me 10 cards.
Exactly.
That's just like, in my board wipe, that seems fine.
As soon as the board... If your creatures are dorky, and then both sides of these is just going to work out for you.
Yeah, like tokens or cards where you have some enchantment that you're going to play to pump them, but you play this first, clear the way, and then slam whatever it is that's going to wreck your opponents. This is a sweet one, and it's not one I thought of at first for budget.
For Dusk to Dawn, another thing about it, like you said, in tokens deck, sure, the aftermath half of this isn't going to be super relevant. Doesn't matter. It's going to be gravy because this is going to still be a Plague Wind effect. If you go around the table a couple times, then you go like secure the waste for X equals 10 eventually, and then you wipe the board once you untap. Okay, all of a sudden these guys can just beat in. You can add something to the board that pumps their power afterwards.
You can even add an Anthem, and then they'll all just be 2/2s. That's not that bad.
Exactly. So I really like this, but you just, again, this is very synergy reliant, much like Winds of Wrath. I'm not just going to throw these in any deck, but as soon as I have that synergy, 2 thumbs up.
All-Star. Next is very simple. Shatter the Sky, 2 white, destroy all creatures. But anyone who had a creature with power 4 or greater gets to draw a card. And it's 85 cents. This is the best 4-mana wipe you're going to get for $1 or less. It's one of the only ones. And it basically is just Day of Judgment. And you actually might recuperate a card.
Yeah, this card's perfectly fine. Like, I can't think of a better... Like, this is the most medium of medium cards, but you're on a budget. And we understand that. You might just have one of these laying around. It was printed in the last year or so.
You don't have to pay $5 to get a solid board wipe. This is going to do everything that Wrath of God and Day of Judgment does. You're going to just save $2, $3, $4 and then put that valuable money from your budget that is restricted to some price into the rest of your deck. The cool part cards, the combo piece, win, con, synergy cards.
Yeah, Shatter the Sky often is just going to be the exact same as Day of Judgment would have been. In probably 90% of situations, sometimes the card draw is going to matter, and that's going to affect the game, and that's that 10% of situations.
If you destroy 30 creatures and, 3 people draw a card, that's not so bad. I'll take that.
Yeah, it can often replace the stuff for you. It definitely does. When you get the draw on a board wipe you would have had to cast anyway, it feels extra good because we talk about this all the time. We don't mind giving up a little bit. Like, if there's a card that, like, sometimes lets our opponent draw, like Arkin and I, we always talk about that. We're willing to give up the card to make sure we're not going down cards.
Yes, I want to stay even on cards. It's fine if you go up a card because you're getting board wiped and you are not up cards in the grand scheme of things. What's next?
Next is a card I am very high on is Undo Inversion. It's 50 cents, and it is 8 mana, planar cleansing. Awful. But it's an MDFC, baby. So on the other side, we have a tapped plains. In for this all day because about 75% of the time I'll say this is just a tap plains, but 1/4 of the time, it's just okay. I'll destroy the board with my land.
Just get out of jail free card. This 8 mana board wipes are not good. How many board wipes are lands? Let me tell you right now. 1. It's this one. 0 others are lands most of the time, and then board wipes only when you need them. It does everything. MDFC lands are completely insane.
What? Yeah, MDFCs are so crazy. I was just thinking about this. What? So if there was an 11 mana Plague Wind on a land, that card's bonkers. It costs 11 mana. It's a horrible card.
Yeah.
But it's a land on the other side. Oh, all of a sudden that card is probably just one of the best board wipes in EDH.
It fixes all shortcomings because it's almost not it's never a board wipe unless you need it to be.
Yeah, I love.
You don't ever get the part where you're like, oh man, this Ingaruk's Wake is in my opener. I basically mulligan.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It's a land.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I love this Ondu inversion. I have it in a 4-color Omnath deck, and I love it there. It has been an all-star. That deck ramps really well, so it gets to cast this pretty easily a lot of times. Then on top of that, well, I need my land drop because I have like my Azuz out. It's a land.
Okay, it's a land. I'll draw a card off of it. Or, maybe this board isn't going my way. I might blow everything up.
Yeah. What do we have next?
Next is moving out of white. It's Engulf the short. It's 62 cents, the price of SpongeBob's Soul. It's 3 and a blue for an instant. And you return all creatures with toughness less than or equal to the number of islands you control to their owner's hands. Just play heavy blue, heavy islands, and then this is 4 mana evacuation.
Yeah, exactly. This is budget evacuation because evacuation, though, it keeps getting printed. It's still like $3, $4, $5.
I mean, how many islands do you need before this card is ridiculous? 4? It just bounces the majority of things. It's a 4 mana, and it's an instant. It's not like Languish where you're just feeling a little bleh about it. Doesn't really do anything. This is an instant. You just hold it up.
So I think you only play this in blue, really. But
you mean heavy blue?
Well, I was saying you only. You
only can play it in blue.
You're right about that. I meant mono blue. I would probably only play this in mono blue. But what I like about mono blue, and it's a cool thing about it, is it really has a lot of payoffs for having tons of islands, and this is just one of them.
It's a weird island sub theme where it just wants you to play a bunch of islands.
Yeah, there's like high tide.
I mean, terrain generator is perfect in blue. There's all sorts of stuff like that. Maybe we'll do a video on it. But go for the shore. It's going to be good in a lot of decks. Heavy blue or mono blue. Bounce everything.
Yeah. And next we have Whelming Wave, which bounces all the sea creature.
Non-sea creatures. It's 4 mana sorcery. 73 cents.
Yeah, 73 cents. A sorcery, bounce everything. If you're in Sea Creature Tribal, this is the most amazing card ever.
It's the only card ever made for you.
It's so good. No, there's
the only board wipe.
I think there's six or seven cards total that mention the sea creature types.
Yes, and some of them don't mention the same types.
Yeah. Ew, we don't talk about that, all right?
No, we're just talking about how you can ignore that text and just say 4 mana bounce all creatures. Yeah, I think my deck wants that, and if so, get this in your deck because it's only a couple cents.
And then you end up and you roll against the Lorthos. Like, no, not Lorthos.
Oh no, it's Lorthos, the vanilla 8/8. How about Octavia? Octavia is a scary octopus commander.
Yeah, that's true. That's way scary. I was just picking the first from the kingdom I had. Slimvoda.
Yeah, this will clear the board. It does what it needs to do. It's not fancy. It's not busted, but it clears the board every time.
Yes. Up next, we have Blood on the Snow. It's a 6 mana, destroy all creatures or destroy all planeswalkers. You're going to pick creatures 99.9% of the time.
Yes.
But but free text on there. Not going to not take that. And the little restriction here, you want to build with snow, so you can get back the biggest thing that you kill because you can pay up to 6 snow mana for this and get up to something with 6. Is it CMC, I believe?
It's just, mana cost equal to the amount of snow spent on Blood on the Snow. So it's face value if you have no snow or you can't afford it or you don't have any and you don't feel like it, just 6 mana destroy all creatures. Okay. But as soon as you start playing some of the snowlands, which are very, very cheap, and you probably have some lying around from Kaldheim, if you pay 1 or 2 mana, you just get a creature back. It feels amazing.
I am very happy. I think snow is kind of I don't like it as a mechanic, and it's kind of parasitic and annoying, and overall, not a fan, but I am glad that they put in the standard set for the sake of getting snowlands available for everybody again. They were available back when Ice Age came out, and then they were almost available when Modern Horizons, but now it's just like, I'll crack a Kaldheim. I literally have one automatically.
They should just be pennies. I don't think it's that bad to put a couple snowlands, and they're fetchable with Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds and Ash Barrens. So you should be able to get 3 Snow Swamps for this. And also the Snow Duels are amazing in Commander anyway. So Blood on the Snow, when you get something back, you feel amazing.
Yeah. And if you're not getting something back, it's not so good.
It's below curve, but you can easily build.
Still budget.
Yeah. The problem with Snowlands is they're just strictly better than regular basics. That's not really our problem or our fault here, but you're going to need to play some snow basics for Blood on the Snow to be better than 6 mana destroy all creatures.
Snow is one of the only mechanics I might just remove from Magic if I had a choice.
It's just kind of dumb. There's no reason not to play Snowlands.
Exactly, yeah. They just, and it's like, oh, I need my Field of Dead to be better. Snow plains and plains. Woohoo!
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, but Blood on the Snow, good budget. Make sure you have, get as many snow swamps and snow basics and snow duels as you can. It'll just pump up this card even further.
Agreed. Up next is another 4 black board wipe. It is Deadly Tempest. And this time, all the creatures go away, but each player loses equal to the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way.
All you got to do is make this one good is either not have a ton of creatures or have life gain to offset the loss of life when you wipe things away. This can just kill people.
Oh, yeah. I love the idea of, like, somebody going crazy with their Scoot Swarm. All right, cast this. You'll take 256 there. Are you okay? No, you're dead.
Don't worry about wiping your creatures away. You can just pack up. You're done.
you're dead. Yeah, don't. You know what? Leave the tokens there. They're mine.
It's player removal half the time, some of the time. Not half the time. Some of the time.
Yeah, there's gonna be times when this is gonna be hilarious. That's just like, all right, my board wipe just happened to also kill the tokens player.
Yeah, but usually it's like, all right, I lose 5 life. You guys all lose 10 life. That's a good board wipe, Jesus. And then the board's clear.
Yeah, I suggest this only on a budget or on a super, like if you're building for your meta and it's like the creature heaviest meta of all time.
Like Rakdos Charm is amazing.
Yeah.
The 1/3 mode.
Yeah, in that case I would play it, but this is just a budget card. Still pretty good.
Yes, this next one is kind of specific. It's a little weird. It's Necromantic Selection, 99 cents, 4 black, destroy all creatures, then you can reanimate a creature on your side.
Yeah, totally reasonable. There's nothing wrong with this card. It's 99 cents, which
so close. Still a budget bomb.
Still a budget bomb. Hey, it could have been 1 more cent and still been a budget bomb.
True. Now, I want to recommend specifically Skullbriar decks for this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's too good. You blow up all creatures, put Skullbriar in your graveyard, keeps the counters, and then it just comes right back, has haste, and there's no creatures to block it.
Wow.
That just kills people.
Hold on. Is that good?
That's a rare exception where this card is main deckable in an 8 power deck, but this is a little slower, a little jankier, but you're going to get the best thing that you kill.
My answer was yes. That was good. That was very good, actually.
Yeah, but it's a specific card. You know when you want it. In budget, yeah, there's decks that can take advantage of this. It's one of the better black budget board wipes.
Yeah, what I like about it for black budget board wipes is that if your commander really matters, again, just like kind of like slash ranks, where it's like, okay, I can wipe everything away, but keep my commander essentially.
Yeah, send it to your graveyard, and then boom, just comes right back out.
Yeah, or anything that gives you could have one of those second life guys like Mikaeus. All right, I'll wipe everything, return Mikaeus, and everything's back too because it'll end up dying.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of commanders this is really good with. Any commander with haste that you want to attack with is the same deal with Skullbriar. It just has no counters.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's all real nice, real strong. A lot of synergies. Next, I really like this card. It's Chain Reaction, 70 cents, 2 red. It deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Very good card. I just think this card is great. If I'm in mono red here, I might just include this in most of my mono red decks.
Yeah, it's sort of red blue or red green, because black and white have the best board wipes. So when you're in red and you're not in those colors, this is one of the best things you could do. It's just, how often is this just Day of Judgment? What are you not killing with this that wouldn't, an indestructible creature wouldn't die to Day of Judgment anyway?
Yeah, exactly. This is it also has the upsides of there's things like your Brash Taunters, your Stuffy Dolls. Those cards, they don't see all this ton of play, but I do have Brash Taunter in a deck. You throw this, you go ahead and do this with Brash Taunter out. All of a sudden, you get to just throw out, if there was 20 creatures, you're throwing out 20 damage at someone's face.
Build your own Deadly Tempest, except you shoot one person for all of it.
Yeah, exactly. And they can be even crazier because obviously boards can get completely out of hand.
Oh, yeah. And this next one you have to read because this is one of your favorite cards.
I really like this one. His name is Ravenous gigantotherium, 5 green for 3/3 beast. It has Devour 3, which means as it enters, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This creature enters the battlefield with 3 times that many +1/+1 counters on it. When Ravenous gigantotherium enters the battlefield, it deals X damage divided as you choose among up to X creatures, where X is its power. Each of those creatures deals damage equal to its power to Ravenous gigantotherium.
I got some bad news. Your Gigantotherium's probably not going to make it. He's not looking too likely to survive the turn. But guess what? You pick any number of expendable tokens or sack fodder, and you just build your own Plague Wind.
Exactly. This requires you to have disposable creatures. If you have an abundance of disposable creatures, green-white token decks, anything. Well, I guess it's basically token decks is one.
Or green-black aristocrats, sack fodder.
Exactly. Yeah, you just need to have this fodder laying around. And then once you do, you can, if you sack 3 creatures, he has 12 damage to throw. And regardless of anything, yeah, it's probably going to die. You also can make it not die very easily.
Or bring it back and then do it again.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All you need is fodder. The fodder to throw into this, if you can sack, I want to reliably sack 2 things to this. Every single time.
Definitely. 2 is like the minimum.
It's like 9. And like that, I'll feel pretty good doing that.
Yes, this is a nice little budget green board wipe. Not many people expect us to have a green one, I bet.
Yeah, even crazier is like if you sack like you can like if you're in a fodder deck, you could just go like sack. Again, I love going to Secure the Waste because it's one of the best tokens cards. That card's insane. Again, you just I'll cast this Secure the Waste end of turn for like 8. Okay, untap. Eat all 8 of my guys, put 24 counters on it, wipe everything I could ever care about off the board. Also leave my huge 27/27 behind. Okay.
Yeah, because it might stay in play at some point. If you're going to try to make a huge creature, it just stays in play. If you have something like Selvala, you can respond to the trigger and then make all that mana equal to the number of creatures you, or the power of the thing, and then blow everything up. And then...
I really, this card, I think it's mostly budget, but in the right token deck, it might fit in a non-budget deck. I think this card is so cool. I haven't had a deck that wants it yet, but oh my god, I love it.
I think I know a place we can put it now that I'm thinking about it. We'll talk about it as the tidbit. Next board wipe is Time Wipe. 2 white, white, blue. Sorcery. Destroy all creatures, but first you get to return a creature you control to your hand if you want. Oh, do you want your commander to survive the board wipe? Well, just bring it on home. It'll be nice and safe in your hand while everything else dies.
I positively love this card in Flicker decks because all your creatures that you're going to bounce are going to have ETBs, so you're going to be extremely happy with this card.
It's 46 cents. It's a 5 mana kill all creatures, but not your best thing. That's coming back. I don't know why this card is so cheap because it's so good. And maybe it's because it was in War of the Spark and everybody opened that set.
So, okay, here's what I want you to do, guys, because we can't make a joke about this because we don't even know how to make the joke.
Yes.
But...
Not appropriately.
So, yeah, exactly. We don't know how to make this joke appropriately for the channel. So what we're going to say is Teferi goes back in time, and what he says in the card is, basically, it's like they were never born.
Right.
So what do you think he does?
What does Teferi do after he goes back in time to ensure that none of these creatures were ever born? Yeah. I have some ideas, personally. But
we have ideas. We're not going to say any of them because they're very inappropriate, but you use your imagination. And in the comments, using PG language, please let us know what you think happens.
None of it's nice. I mean, the nicest thing is he erases them. That's awful.
The nicest thing is he goes back in time and stops the parents from having sexual intercourse.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
That's the nicest way you can do it.
I wasn't thinking about that at all. He like goes to the parents' first date and just like ruins it.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
We found the PG way to talk about it.
Those are way nice. That's the nicest way you could do it. Yeah. Now think of all the mean ways he could do it.
That guy didn't even pay for dinner. You know what? You're right.
That guy's like,
and then they're like,
and then he walks away and he goes, for the multiverse.
Yeah, that guy on the battlefield's like fading away. He's like, no.
Like, yeah, I'm imagining like
the Thanos snap.
Thanos snap turning to dust. This is old school. This is literal old school nitpicking nerds where we would find a topic, go off on it, and never stop.
Oh, we're not talking about the video? Perfect. Perfect. It's almost over. We only got 2 more to talk about.
Yeah, what is the next one?
The next one is a split card. It's either Selfless Glyphweaver, which is a 2/3 for 3 that can exile itself to give your guys indestructible, or Deadly Vanity, which is the board wipe side, 5 black, black, black. Choose a creature, then destroy everything else. One-sided board wipe that keeps your best creature. What a theme. There's so many of these on this list. This card is 50 cents, and it's the best card from Strixhaven.
This card is very, very good. I mean, again, the MDFC style of these cards is what makes it so good. 90% of the time, it's Selfless Glyphweaver, and it's this effect that protects your team.
It's a good effect.
Oh, and then all of a sudden, the 5% of the time I need it to be, it's just a board wipe that lets me keep my best creature.
Yes, it's such a good utility and selection, very different effects. You can use Selfless Glyphweaver and another board wipe to keep all your creatures, except for him.
Yeah, another thing about Deadly Vanity that I really like, if you have creature recursion, which is super common, to put this back in your hand, you cast Deadly Vanity.
Oh, yeah.
You save one of your creatures, and then you recur it. I actually did this in Limited.
You had
Extus.
Extus.
Yeah.
So if you have Extus lying around or one of those type of
That's
effects.
double rare. That's mythic in rare and limited, and that was a crazy in limited, but obviously it's not as crazy. But you can just return, if Extus is your commander, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll return Selfless Glyphweaver. Just make sure you don't sack Glyphweaver because it exiles itself. So you just want to return Glyphweaver, but always cast Vanity, and then you just keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, if you're in, like I said, if you build your Exodus deck, Selfless Glyphweaver goes really well because it's a spell and a creature to get back.
Is just perfect. So the last card is very similar to Tragic Arrogance. It's Mythos of Snapdax. 2 white, but basically it's Tragic Arrogance if you pay black, red, white. So it's only in Mardu decks. It's 49 cents. And if you're Mardu, you play Tragic Arrogance and you play this, and you're super stoked about it. If you're not Mardu, you can't play it. So forget about it.
Do not under any circumstance, do not under usual circumstances cast this without paying red, black, white. It's not a very good card like that.
Yeah, it's not hard to pay that. It's a little restrictive, more restrictive than 2 white for like a Day of Judgment, but it's better because it's Tragic Arrogance. You choose 4 mana, cast some more spells after. It's going to be amazing.
Is Day of Judgment over $1?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I think it's like 2 or 3.
I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, it's not on this list. Oh, it's over $1, really? Because that sounds, to me, that's always a $1 card.
We're playing Shatter the Sky, baby.
Woo! Get in my deck, Shatter the Sky. All right, that's our video. Special shout outs to every single one of our patrons. We love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. Honestly, keep the support coming because it is amazing. And we honestly could not appreciate it more. I literally, any time a patron messages me, I gladly respond as quickly as I can.
Warms our heart. Come to the Discord, hang out, you get your special patron role. Anyone can come to the Discord so you can play Commander in there or whatever else. And we also have a link for you in the description. It's a TCG player affiliate link. We mentioned it at the beginning of the video. Go to the link, buy the cards. Then when you buy the cards, we get a kickback on the order. You spend no extra money. You support local businesses. You buy cards you were going to buy anyway. And then you help power up the channel so we can do this full time. What?
Okay.
Crazy.
Yes. And I want, before we talk about the other thing, you want to talk
the
about
tidbit.
I want to talk
Pre-tidbit.
about one. No, it's still tidbit. It is definitely still tidbit.
It's a pre-tidbit.
One little complaint I have about Modern Horizons 2. I'm excited because I'm just excited for a new set. Okay. As I always am.
Oh, this.
Why? Okay. Modern, the format is marked by the brand new border. That's how we mark that cards are legal in the Modern format. Why, in a set called Modern Horizons, meaning it's all about Modern, would we have old border cards? That is just, it's like, it's cool. They look cool. They look great. It's just like, doesn't make sense.
This doesn't really bother me, and I don't even agree with you.
It's a peeve.
It's one of your peeves. I don't share that. But I wanted to get to the real tidbit, which is that we are making a Commander Cube, which will soon be featured on this channel. Honestly, we're almost done. We have the first initial list finalized. We just got to get all the cards.
Yeah, it's going to be an off day video, I think, because we don't know how it's going to go.
We don't know.
It's definitely going to be an off day video. It's going to be a Tuesday or it's going to be a Thursday. You'll see the video. But we're going to talk about the Commander Cube, and they're going to let you know. We're going to have a list available for everyone to see.
Yeah, we'll share how we built it, how you're going to draft it, and why we chose those things, and probably give a bunch of advice to anyone looking to build a Commander Cube or play one.
Okay, so last thing before we go, name a random commander from the Commander Cube that you like.
Vorinclex Monstrous Raider.
The first one that came to my mind was Quandrix.
Tanazir Quandrix.
Tanazir Quandrix. So that's Quandrix. So that's the video. Peace out, Tribe Scout.